Hello, Governor. It is I, your faithful servant of your entertainment, Annie. The Girl Scouts are out! Oh my god, I gotta make this quick because I gotta go get some Girl Scout cookies. What a blessing. Today I went to an audition and had such a good time. And I think it might have been the first time that I had like a genuine, really good time at an audition. I said to my boss, who, by the way, is an actor, which is, I think is so cool. My boss is an actor, a fellow actor. That's how I met him, was in my acting class. So, too blessed to be stressed. But I told him, I was like, I miss auditioning. I never thought I would say that. How cool. I want to talk about how I got to this place because, like acting and many things in my life, there are things that I have really loved and yet at the same time had a really hard time finding joy in them. Like YouTube, like acting, like dancing or spending time with other people. It can be really hard sometimes to, like, you know, sit there, listen to someone, like, be obnoxious. I want to talk about some of the steps that I took to start enjoying my life, even when it's not like in the framework of success and competition and this hierarchy in my mind. That really is just a pre-downloaded hierarchy that we all have. It's called the patriarchy. It's called white supremacy. It's called white supremacy. Ha ha. And I want to talk about how I am deprogramming that and enjoying like just the daily show. Just kidding. Not as good after Trevor Noah. Maybe that's an old person thing to say, but I digress. Things used to feel so serious in my life. Pretty much everything. For most of my adult life and much of my teenage years, I don't know, let's see, when did this start? Probably 11 years old, I started waking up with dread. And that has continued on into my life for about 2 decades. I'm gonna be 29 in a couple months. So that's a solid 2 decades of dread to start the day, baby. And that is not necessarily fun. I've had to learn how to come out of that, swim out of the depression that just gets hard set into my brain every day. I know this sounds like an exaggeration. It's not. One time with 2 of my friends that I am still very close with, we were doing a play together many years ago. Many years ago. It was like 6 years ago. It feels like a long time when you're 20s. I'm still young. So it's this game. It's this improv game where you can only do like your 4 main human emotions. There's anger, there's sadness, there's fear, and there's happiness. And me and my other friend, me and Adam, who are a little bit more same-tempered, we were like, okay, he was explaining more of the game, and he was like, okay, so do you remember what the human emotions are? And like me and Adam were like, yeah, there's anger, there's fear, there's sadness. And then we like looked at each other and we were like, what was the what was the other emotion? And Doug was like, happiness. And we were like, oh, yeah, happiness. That's something that people have and experience on a daily basis. I'm finding out what that's like. It's pretty cool. This is the myth about feeling joy and happiness in your life. It's not a constant state. That's not the program that I wake up with. I wake up with despair and fear, anger, and sadness. All of that is dread for me, personally. That is woe, if anyone is watching Severance. I got woe, man. I got woe. The negativity just sticks to me like velcro, and the happiness slides off like teflon. That's genuinely how my brain has been programmed. One of the main things is getting out of bed immediately. It's really hard. Some days I hit that snooze button until the very last minute, but getting out of that bed is really important. And I would say part of what I'm really grateful right now, even though I don't want to have a 9 to 5, even though I'm looking at my computer right now, I'm like, my 9 to 5! Well, it's an 8 to 5, bitch. But having an 8 to 5, that I have to be at my computer at 8 o'clock. I have to. There is no other option. or I will not get paid. I've been lucky enough to have a long period of not having a job. And I gotta tell you, that while it was great to not have responsibilities, other than like my like getting paid as an actor, which is great, but not sustainable, bitch. I was really depressed, especially during the times where I wasn't in a project and I had no responsibilities. It was like, I'm not gonna get up until 11, noon, sometimes 1. And then I live in the Pacific Northwest, so then you got like 4 hours of daylight, and like you got to get out of bed no matter how you feel. I can already hear people being like, well, if you're depressed, you can't, and it's like a chemical imbalance. And like, yes, I know depression well, my friend. Anger, fear, sadness. I know depression well. Sometimes you gotta force those limbs to get out, move it over onto the floor and be like, get up, and then you get up, you know? It's just like, sometimes you gotta force yourself. I think that's a drone, baby, I think that's a drone. Is it an airplane or a drone? I don't know. Another thing that helps me experience happiness is reminding myself it's not that deep, especially to help me with my 9 to 5. Because like some days, bitch, I have a great boss, I have a great work from home situation, and I still hate Excel. Like the teflon and the velcro situation, I'm clinging to my hatred for Excel rather than clinging to, this is a really great setup. I'm so lucky to be able to live wherever I want in the world and have this job and like be paying my bills and be able to give my darling angel Missy a better life and give my darling angel Annie a better life. You know, a lot of people don't have that. Annie, darling. I guess the first thing would be like reminding yourself of the positive, gratitude, but we all know that. But the hack is reminding myself this is a video game and I am getting experience points, and it is not that deep. Because if I can think about myself as a NPC? PC? I don't play video games, so it's very weird that this metaphor works for me, but I am a metaphor homie. If you want to know anything about me, it's that I speak in metaphors all day. It gets people lost, and I'm like, you're not with me? We're like 7 metaphors deep here. But I love a good metaphor. And so the video of like an NPC, I think that's a non-playing character. Yeah, so no, I'm the main character, but I'm being like controlled by my brain. And my consciousness is like controlling it. This is how I do that, you know? It's not that deep. But when I get like upset at like someone at work for like not doing what I told them or for not taking my idea seriously, and then 3 months later they're like, oh, this is a really good idea, and I'm like, I said that 3 months ago. This is a video game. You're getting XP points, baby. You're getting XP points, you know? It's not that deep. Walks are a good thing too. I take a lot of walks, and when I'm not taking my walks, it doesn't look good in here. It's like you gotta take a walk every day to clear the cobwebs. Ooh, hold on. I got this poncho, this giant ass happy poncho, so that I can take a walk every day. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so it rains all the time, although not this winter, but we're not going to talk about that. That's another video for another time. But my God, is taking a walk like clearing the mental cobwebs. Whistle while you work. Whistle while you walk. Another thing that I like to do is be goofy. Be goofy on my walks, in my house, with my friends, out in public. If I'm walking and I've got a good song and I have the impulse to dance, it is no longer in my nature to stifle my impulses. There is no harm that I'm doing anyone by dancing openly in the street. Will they think that I'm strange? Maybe. Will they not dance along with me? Unfortunately not. In my mind, I start a dance revolution in my neighborhood, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, hey, and then we all just like, crash the fuck out in the best way, you know? But it takes a long time for people to catch on, so that I still have that hope. I still have that goal. Okay, this one is kind of a little embarrassing, but something that like has helped me be happy is talking to myself. Bear with me, okay? My therapist says some of the most intelligent, most brilliant people in the world are the ones who talk to themselves. So if you don't believe me, take it up with my therapist. Take it up with Lori, okay? I consciously talk to myself. Like, we all kind of have a underlying ticker tape at the bottom of the news screen, at the bottom of our brain, with horrible things that we tell ourselves, right? We've talked about this. But intentionally talking to yourself is great. One way that I do that is by putting my headphones in while I'm walking. I'm totally outing myself, pretending that I'm having a conversation with a friend or a loved one, which I am. I am my loved one. I am my own friend. They don't have to know that there's no one on the other line that I can actually hear physically, but I hear myself mentally. So, just stick the buds in, have a good old conversation. I have had some really good heart-to-hearts with myself. Sometimes I forget that when I respond to myself, that might come off as a little weird. But you know what? At the end of the day, also, who am I harming, really? The children? When I'm holding the hand of a woman, that's when I'm harming the children. I'm gay. I'm kidding. I had the best audition ever. While as I was preparing, usually the way that I prepare is I'm really in my head and I'm like, okay, visualize yourself doing the best, and then visualize them asking about your schedule, and like visualize me being successful, And instead I was like, I'm gonna look back on this in 10 days, 10 months, 10 years from now, and I'm going to remember what I was doing in around the audition. I probably won't actually remember the audition itself, but life is what happens when you're on the way to something else. I will remember how I felt when I was making my coffee, and when I was putting on my lip stain, and when I was filling in my eyebrows, and when I was running around to get my script and my headshot and my resume. I was gonna remember how I was talking to myself and how I was feeling, and if I was noticing the beautiful, beautiful crows outside, and if I was in my body or if I was in my head. That was like, damn. And you know what happened? I had to take an Uber because my car is still in the shop, and my Uber driver was the chattiest man, the kindest old man I could have possibly asked for. And anytime that I was like, I'm starting to get into my head, I'm starting to like project into the future, I was like, Annie, just talk to Robert. He is so chatty. He's so happy to talk to you. I told him about my printer problems. He told me about his degree in Palm Springs, about irrigation and gardening, and how his mother grew up growing carrots and cherry tomatoes. Baby, that's a good band name. Carrots and cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. Okay. Whoops. We just short-circuited. This is all programming. It was so lovely. Robert really brightened my day, and I was like, this is a sign. This is what I'm going to remember, is the Uber ride to my audition. And what helped me have a good time at the audition was not focusing on the audition, was not taking it so seriously, was not taking myself so seriously in this video game. The audition was just what happened today, but it could be anything. It could be a job interview. It could be... What other things are scary? It's like my two things that are really scary, auditions and interviews. They feel like the same thing. It could be having to do like a hard thing, or having to do a chore. It could be anything that you have to get over a mental hurdle for. You're still going to get onto the other side. And when you look back, you're gonna see how you treated yourself throughout that experience, whatever that experience may be. Anyways, it was a good day today, and then I had a really good hour-long conversation with my boss, and we talked about acting and the future of the business, and it's really nice to kind of factory reset yourself, and you might have to do it like every day for a while. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm factory resetting myself. And it feels really nice to have the ability to experience joy. I don't think that it's like a very easy process. I think it's gonna be different for everyone. So this is just my experience, and this is just where I'm at. I've also done a lot of work. I've like done group therapy. I've done individual therapy for over 7 years now. We're going on year 8, year 9. Year 9, because I started when I was 20, and I keep getting older. So 9 years of consistent therapy. So here we are, finally experiencing joy. It fucking gets better. I guess that's what this video is about, is it gets better. And taking yourself less seriously it really is important. I'm sure that comes with age. I'm sure that comes with experience, and it comes with hard work. I think you need all those ingredients to make a happy life. Bread. Sourdough. Anyways, I hope this was helpful or enjoyable or entertaining or worth your time. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And yeah, I still have goals, man. I still like want to do stuff. I still want to do things. I still want bigger and better and bigger and better. But sometimes wanting bigger and better makes you miserable, and you miss the amazing things that are happening for you right now. How cool. How cool. What a wonderful world. Still sick, so I apologize. We'll see you guys tomorrow.